To Olympics in 96.
Hop into, oh, this is brilliant work on the low bar. And up to the high bar. That was a beautiful start from Amy. A little bit of a hesitation there, but not a major deduction. Piked Jaeger somersault straight into a transition element to the low bar. Oh, she knows where that bar is without even looking.
It doesn't mean she can close her eyes.
And a full twisting double somersault. The Americans,
slick.
Yep, they're on fire. They know that they've got to throw everything into this event. She's smiling. I think it's the first time tonight she's had a smile on her face, so she's pleased with that.
And I tell you what, I can see some of the Aussie team looking on. They must be worried.
Yeah, the Aussies have gotten through beam. It's going to be interesting to see how this rotation has affected the overall standings in the team.
She's so graceful.
Oh, the extensions of the work on the Americans on the uneven bars is great. They're just at full extension. Now there was a hesitation there. She will pick up a deduction, but it shouldn't cost her a lot. She wasn't too displeased with things. That's a Jaeger somersault, piked front somersault, but then straight into that transition to the low bar. So combination bonus. She's got, again, start value 10. So it's really just the minor deduction she's taken. Giant winding up for the dismount. And a double somersault with a full twist. Boom.
Oh, she missed the world champs last year in China because of an ankle injury, but she's right back on track. Amy Chow.
And the Americans have done their job, so they sit down now.
Let's see if she can beat Elise Ray from the USA, 9.675. That was a pretty clean routine. We're going to see some high scoring for Amy. Can she beat a 9.675? She certainly has. 9.775 for Amy Chow. Well, at the halfway stage, USA were leading the competition for the teams event, and after a brilliant showing on the uneven bars, I'm sure they've consolidated that lead. That was their last event in rotation 5, 1 remaining. Naoko Nakase from Japan on the vault. This is where individuals can make or break their competitions. Teams can cement themselves medals. It's the 6th and final rotation.
Handspring pipe front, great vault. She nailed that. Starting value 9.5 for that vault, so not a lot of execution deduction there, so she should score into the low 9s there. Here it is, into the handspring, plenty of prop, lots of length.
Controlled landing.
Yeah, she was a good landing. She could have done with a bit more height.
Her teammate, Chimimi Takeda of Japan. Her first vault.
There's Jamie. Into the vault, handspring entry, another handspring pike front somersault. It's got a pretty good starting value. The 9.5 starting value for that vault attracts a lot of the competitors to perform that one. It's probably one of the easier vaults that you can perform and still have a start value that high. So it's a common vault for some of the competitors that aren't able to get into that higher level of vaults.
Chimimi Takeda.
Chimimi's getting every inch she can out of this run-up.
25 metres,
She's
1
in
metre
the starting,
wide.
Yeah, it's like she's in the starting blocks there on that red mark. Pike front, good length. A little bit short on height, but again, she'll score pretty solidly.
And that's her competition over.
She's pretty happy about it. Japanese are probably not in contention for the team title tonight, but they'll certainly be looking get into the top 5.
It's a young
Pike
team.
Yeah, that's right. And the Japanese have been coming up the world rankings lately too, so they do have some good competitors here. Pretty cheerful. They can't be unhappy with the way they went today.
Ping Xia from China, about to start her beam routine.
Chinese girls excel on balance beam. You'll see some of the best routines in the world watching your television over the next few minutes. The American girls have completed their competition. They're off in the wings watching the Chinese now, and it's all in their lap. They're hoping to pull their way up the rankings into the top 3, perhaps knock the United States off the perch. Front somersault directly to a leap, absolutely no hesitation there.
9.675, the best score on the beam from Alana Slater from Australia.
Front somersault to another leap. Her landing position in that punch front somersault was so high that she was able to go straight into the leap movement. Back handspring to the back handspring roll onto the beam. That's her C element leap, which is a requirement on the beam. They need to perform leaps with large amplitude.
Nice elevation and extension in the leap.
There's another one connected. Again, they do pick up connection bonus points when they connect 2 leap elements like that together without hesitation. They need to perform tumbling skills in combinations, and also movements like that that take them down into support on the beam.
Demonstrating elegance, flexibility, balance, and control.
Here's a dismount. Double twist.
Nice.
Pretty clean. Yeah, there's not a lot wrong there for a first competitor. Most countries would be happy to have that as their top competitor. So really, that's a starting point for the Chinese to build on.
Peng Sha happy with her performance. And the dismount again.
Double twist, great landing, and great height too. So that's a great start for the Chinese on beam. She's ecstatic. It's turned into a bit of a 3-horse race here for the teams event. The Americans, who have completed the competition, are sitting watching while the Chinese and the Australians battle it out. Waiting for Bai Chunyu on the beam. Here she is, performing her mount. It's a handspring, solid as a rock.
Needing the beat board to get up 1.2 meters high is the beam.
Directly into a back somersault, so that's a nice combination there. Back handspring to a layout back.
Look at the fluency in that.
Oh yeah, and look, I know you've said it before, the beam's not wide, and when you have to perform 3 tumbling skills like that and remain dead solid in the middle, it's really mark of a master of the apparatus. There's a 360-degree turn in that leap. Choreography throughout the beam to keep the continuity going. She's readying herself for a dismount. Punch, double back. And it's a good routine. The Chinese are making a late run.
The beam's 1.2 meters high. I don't know whether Bai would be that much taller than the beam. Great effort. And we cross to the floor. The Australians in action. Alana Slater. She is got an 8.9 on the vault. A great score on the beam, 9.675. Let's see what she can do for the individual all-round.
Okay, remember the Australians here really trying to solidify their position ahead of the Americans. Whip, 2.5 twist to a punch front tumbling row, so she's got herself some difficulty bonus, some connection bonus, and ticked off one of the special requirements. She's achieved a lot in that first row. And there's a triple twist coming back, so she's got probably her 2 most difficult elements out of the way.
And there's a bit of pressure on Alana because Zena McLaughlin, her teammate, only scored an 8.7 on the floor.
Okay, now the Australians will need to drop that score, so the next 3 competitors must nail their routine solid.
So Alana has got to get this one right.
She's had a great start. She's looking good. Coming And up to another tumbling run. They can collect themselves for a couple seconds in the corner in preparation for their tumbling.
Oh,
that's
no.
not good. She was going for a 1.5 twist. 2.5 twist laid out front there and came up short. So she's taking a major fall.
Australia, the colour of your medal may have changed.
Yeah, that can do it. That's all it takes when you've had two competitors that have had broken routines.
Oh, lovely elevation. Great amplitude on that.
Now that's...
Great finish.
Yeah.
But is it enough?
Well, a big disappointment there for Alana. She was going so well. She'd nailed her first 2 tumbling runs.
-16-year-old.
2.5 twists. She just was underbaked on that last half twist. She came into the ground. She needed to perform another quarter twist and able to land that, but she was a little bit low. Didn't allow her to complete the twist. Double layout from Trudy.
She's our high flyer from the vault. One of Australia's great hopes.
Yeah, well, a bit of traditional music. This will go down well in Sydney 2000 if she keeps this music. The crowd will lift her up, so she knows that it's critical she completes this routine as well as she can. Obviously, the Australians have had to counter a lower score than they would have liked, so... Oh, look, even the Kiwis are getting behind it. Trans-Tasman kinship.
Can't believe Kiwis are clapping to this.
Yeah.
But you've got to clap for that.
Ooh. Bit of Aboriginal rhythms coming in. Final tumbling row for Trudy. Double pike. Oh, she nailed it. Okay, that's a good result for Trudy.
Plenty of acrobatics, a little bit of waltzing Matilda, a little bit of waltzing from Trudy McIntosh.
Yeah, she had a bit of spark.
She needs to get those points up there. Alana Slater got an 8.9. Zena McLaughlin, her other teammate, 8.7. This could be crucial for the team's event. Is that the sort of theme? For that girl on beam.
Okay, here's Trudy.
Graceful, strong.
Yep. She'd be pretty happy with that. There are no major problems with her routine, so she's given Australia a sniff of a hope there.
Don't know if it's enough, though, David. These other two scores, 8.7, 8.9.
Yep. Okay, here's Lisa Skinner from Australia. 2.5 twist punch front. She's looking good. She's tumbling high. Nice transition moves. Beautiful choreography.
Very expressive on the floor. She scored 9s all night, 9.1, 9.475, 9.225. Consistent.
So she has got the all-around title in the back of her mind.
Determined look on her face.
Tumbling row, handspring, full twisting front. Punch, straddle jump to prone. Great flexibility in her movements here, her extension. Oh,
lovely pivots.
Triple pivot on one foot. Highly rated skill. It's also a required element for the girls to show at least a 360 degree turn on one leg, so she...
Looking for fixed positions in those pivots.
Nice.
And a finish like that'll do
Double
it for
pike,
her.
Yep, no, that's a good routine for
Lisa Skinner.
Lisa. That'll do her all around chances, no harm.
And just what Australia needed. Maybe it was that waltzing Matilda beforehand that picked a game up a little bit. She is relieved, she's happy.
Yep.
Let's have another look.
Ladies and gentlemen, that completes
Lisa
our
Skinner
competition for today. Can we have a huge round of applause
Full twisting laid out front somersault to a punch straddle jump to support.
So after a demanding day, the United States held off its neighbour Canada for the team's title. China held for third, followed by Japan, Canada, Venezuela. Sad to see New Zealand not quite in the same league. And it's an American who takes the all-round title, one-way traffic for Elise Ray, who led from start to finish. Ling Ji from China in a tight tussle with Lisa Skinner for second. New Zealand's Aletha Boone, 18th in the all-round.
Who placed 6th. So it's an interesting little head-to-head battle we've got going on here between Trudy McIntosh and Denise Lopez from Mexico. Now,
very strong vaulter.
And that's not to undervalue the performance of some of the other competitors who have also had high preliminary scores coming into this final. Okay, here's Trudy's turn. This is the first of 2 vaults that Trudy will have to perform.
Nice.
Handspring layout front. Full twist.
Let's have another look. Full twisting layout front. Great work from Trudy McIntosh.
And a good landing. That's a vault that's rated at a start value of 10 for the girls. Not a lot of girls have the power to be able to hit the horse and do a layout front somersault and complete a full twist. So this is why Trudy is one of the best.
And Trudy's just got her score through a 9.65. That's a good, strong first vault score.
And remember, this is not her final score. She's got another vault to do.
That is going to hurt.
She has missed her second vault. She did a cartwheel on and 1.5 twist somersault. She was underbaked in her height, so she didn't have enough time to complete her twist and somersault, and that will cost Trudy.
Let's take another look. She got a 9.65 in her first vault, which was the same score she came through to this final with.
Half twist on, 1.5 twisting, laid out somersault off. Just didn't have the height.
Now this little lady is one to watch on the vault, Denise Lopez from Mexico. She is highly rated in this competition. She's a specialist vaulter.
Denise comes to us the vaulter of form in the world. In a recent World Cup competition over the last couple weeks, she's beaten the world #1. She has a ranking of #5 in the world. Unfortunately, Denise won't be able to perform at the Olympics. She wasn't able to qualify as an individual. You have to qualify in the all-around for the Olympics, so she's looking towards a World Cup finish this year in the medals. She was head-to-head with Trudy going into this event. Here she comes with her first vault. Handspring, layout front, half twist, solid as can be.
Crowd receptive. She never looks happy with a vault, though. She's always got that concentrated, pained look on her face.
Well, the thing is, I mean, she's got another vault to come. The concentration's the key for her out there. There's her layout front, half twist, good landing, slight step in the landing, but that's not going to cost her too much. The length was good, height was good. She's got another one to go, and the work's all still ahead of her. You know, you can't celebrate till the job's done. Here's the score. This is Trudy's score. This is the score that that Denise is aiming to beat. She'll be well on the way with that first vault. Round off on half turn.
Consistency for the 23-year-old from Mexico.
Okay, that's not her preferred result there on that second vault. She's probably will be a little bit disappointed with that. She completed it, stayed on her feet, so that'll keep her in the hunt. She did a round off onto the beat board and a half turn onto the vault, and then punch front half turn again. So there was a bit of a form deduction there. She will
9.725 for her first vault.
Right, well, that's a great start. Okay, Vanessa's here to play ball. She's just done a Yurchenko double twisting somersault. The gentleman with his arm on his shoulder is a former men's world and Olympic champion, Vitaly Sherbo. You listen when he gives you advice.
She's just 4'11". She is tiny.
Yurchenko double twist, landed it cold. If she does another vault anywhere near the one she just performed, she's going to take out the gold.
9.6 was Vanessa's first vault. Let's see what she can do with a second. That's a pretty good score.
Handspring, layout, front somersault. Okay, it's going to be interesting. The start value for that vault is high, but her execution of it was a little bit wanting. She's a bit too arched in the somersault, and she had a small touchdown, which will cost her points.
She's building on a 9.6. A little by Chung Yu, the pocket rocket.
Okay.
Well, the rocket didn't fire that time.
No, it was a handspring layout front half turn. Pushed off front. Okay.
Her vault average coming into this 9.362.
A lot of execution errors there, and obviously a heavy deduction for the landing.
Not one, but two all-out efforts by Chung Yu.
Round off on, laid out Yurchenko.
Clean for the 17-year-old.
You see, her first vault was a handspring entry vault, and that one was a round-off entry vault. So she did perform vaults from two structure groups, and that was a clean vault. Here she is, she's running in at full pace, and then a round-off, lands backwards on the beat board, and dives backwards onto the horse with a laid-out somersault. She'll be happy with the second one. It was just unfortunate the landing in the first vault.
Denise with ease on the vault, a 9.612, giving the Mexican vault specialist gold. Aussie's Trudy McIntosh holding second, Vanessa Adler in third. Getting to see both, and what a lineup. Trudy McIntosh from Australia, certainly one to watch, but Bai Chung Yu from China, she is incredible. She took gold on the uneven bars, but Ling Ji from China is the current world champion on beam, so she will stun, she will amaze you. Also, Elise Ray, one to watch from the United States, a good all-rounder. Milana Slater from Australia is chasing a 9.062 from her teammate Trudy McIntosh.
Front tuck on, straight to a little leap. Bit of combination bonus. Split leaps. Ready for a big back tumble. Back handspring, layout, somersault. Landing on one foot. That's an interesting move. That was basically a back handspring with a half twist. So she started the move backwards, did a half turn in the air, and pushed out when she hit the beam. After she hit the beam and ended up facing the other direction.
Incorporating plenty of grace, style into the beam, as well as those acrobatic moves.
Ooh,
very tricky little move.
Break dancing.
Not a chugga, chugga, chugga in sight.
She's working well. She's doing well to stay on the beam. The beam's a tough one for the girls, and pressure's on in the apparatus finals. Must perform a D dismount. Double pike somersault.
Nice work from Alana Slater. Let's have another look.
Here's her layout, pike somersault. Here's that move where she executed a half twist in the air, started it out like a back handspring, finished it off like a front handspring. Now that's tricky as well because you are twisting and that will tend to throw you off center.
A 9.437 for Alana Slater from Australia. She moves ahead of Trudy McIntosh from Australia by a considerable amount. 9.437 as we cross to Bai Chung Yu from China, gold medalist in the uneven bars. What can she do on beam?
Bai's been the sensation of the event so far in the girls' side. Back handspring, stretch double layout. You know, you'd think she was doing on an airport runway. She made it look like there was plenty of room up there. Here's her leap with amplitude. Again, a special requirement for the girls on beam.
And while her feet are a little bit smaller and narrower than other competitors, certainly doesn't make it that much easier.
Tell you what, her center of gravity isn't too high either. You chop her in half and there's not a lot left.
1.2 meters, a little bit of a way to fall for Bai Chang-yu, but she's no signs of her toppling off.
Doesn't make it a lot easier though. She's still got a boogie down to the end of the beam for the dismount. Pops it off double tuck.
Oh, she's fabulous. Bai Chang-yu from China. 9.437 is what she wants to chase. Let's have another look at the 17-year-old from China.
Nailed that landing.
Competitors must use the full 500 centimetre long beam. A 9.575 for Bai Chang-yu from China. That puts her in front. That's the score to beat. The world champion next on beam. What can Ling Ji do? This is the current world beam champion, Ling Ji from China. She qualified with a 9.7 on beam. She's the highest qualifier from the prelims. 17 years old. She's something special.
Highest qualifier and best in the world. Punch front somersault there, straight to a little leap there. Okay, that was a leap directly into a full twisting back handspring.
Seamless.
Again, a back handspring with a half turn. Split leap to another leap. A little bit of a hesitation there. She may still pick up connection bonus for it, though. Back handspring quarter turn nails the handstand.
Incredible control.
Pinpoint stuff. Chinese are known for their precision on the beam. Oh, two back handsprings to a double twist dismount off to the side. Beautiful body position through her tumbling movements.
Great style and form, Ling Ji from China. It doesn't get much better than this on the beam.
And the competition on the beam is just on fire. Fantastic amplitude, really. When you consider she's got to land it. It's that back handspring quarter turn. Nails the handstand. Comes down to the beam. Preparing for a dismount here. Two back handsprings. 1, 2, and then prop off to a double twist as she...
And that 9.362, that impressive finish by Ling Ji from China, not enough to overtake her teammate, Bai Chang-yu, with a 9.575. So Ling Ji, the current world champion, 9.362. As we return to the women's beam with Julie Beaulieu from Canada.
Julie Beaulieu, one of the competitors from Canada. Here we go, nice Echo series backwards. Canadians had a disappointment in a team competition. One of their competitors had to pull out with a sprained ankle just prior to the competition, so... Oh, nice punch front straight to a back handspring down to the beam. So the Canadians are looking to pick up some hardware in the apparatus finals here. Julie Beaulieu is their last chance. Only one remaining competitor. Side somersault. Picking up connection bonus for putting together difficult leaps. Full twist on one foot.
Oh, she likes acrobatic skiing. I wonder why. She's well versed in the twists and turns of the beam and acrobatic skiing. Julie Beaulieu turns 17 next week. We'll also see her in the floor final. This is what the judges will be looking at.
Leap, punch, front somersault, straight to another back handspring down to the beam. She really connected 3 elements there without stopping. That side somersault.
Don't often see that on beam. Well, what a great score for Julie Beaulieu from Canada, 9.525. That sits her in second place.
Representing the United States, Lane Wilson.
With form like that, it's no wonder. That's a great dismount from Julie.
Back to the beam with the final competitor from the United States, Elise Ray, another all-rounder.
More than an all-arounder, Bernadine. She's the top all-arounder from the competition. So she's the one. It's a nice combination. She's the one that can knock the other competitors off the perch here. She's got the ability on beam. Oh, that's a disappointment. Straddle jump, back handspring quarter turn. Elise entered the competition with a 9.625 from the preliminary round. Unlikely she'll be able to match that, having already taken a fall from the beam. When the competitors fall, they have 10 seconds with which to get back on the beam. There's a time constraint on the beam that they have to perform the routine within. Now, the clock does stop while they're on the ground, but they usually don't waste much time getting back up. And Elise is working in a routine now. Ooh, okay.
Tricky dismount.
Pump the gainer double twist off.
Elise is 18 years old from Colombia.
And that form a cost her. She's trying to chase Alana Slater in third if she wants a medal with a 9.437. And she is the women's all-round.
Doing a full spin on one foot, and you could see she just twisted her foot right off the beam. That's a requirement for the girls to be able to show at least a 360-degree turn. And they haven't got their weight right. That's the result.
8.912, so that fall costly for Elise Ray. She's not in medal contention. No one able to touch Bai Chunyu from China. She's gone from strength to strength in this competition. Bai Chunyu from China claiming her second gold medal. Julie Beaulieu impressed enough for silver. Aussie's Alana Slater placed third. And Trudy McIntosh, both very polished on the floor, but Elise Ray's our all-rounder. Had a disappointing beam, but the sign of a champion is a comeback. Can Elise Ray deliver? As we go to the floor, Morgan White begins for the women.
Morgan White from the United States. Into her first tumbling row, whip back, 2.5 twist, punch front. Beautiful.
Lovely and nimble.
Layout half twist, punch double twist. Any difficulty in those first 2 tumbling rows.
Some dance moves coming in, the floor routine, choreographed to music, lasting between 70 and 90 seconds and covering the entire floor area.
Girls have to have a change of tempo during their routine. This is often when you see the different style of music come in. You have to mix gymnastic leap and dance elements with acrobatic tumbling skills.
Nice poise, a little bit of pizzazz from Morgan White from the States.
Working her way back into the corner for another tumbling row. Triple twist.
That is a great routine from Morgan White. She'll be very happy with that.
They all need to get on top of that, the score that's coming up for Morgan. And I think it's going to be a pretty good one.
9.60 for Morgan White. And the Aussies are back on the floor. Trudy McIntosh.
Double layout from Trudy.
And she stepped outside the mat. She'll be penalised for that.
Whip back through to double pike. Deduction for stepping out for the girls is 0.1, so it doesn't take a huge amount off their final score.
A little bit of waltzing Matilda, a little bit of waltzing happening on the mat.
Yeah. You have to think that Trudy's got Sydney 2000 in mind with this floor music. You can imagine a stadium packed with a few thousand people getting down to this.
Nice and clean.
Again, here's her change of tempo.
Some original dance elements.
Two leaps in connection. Required from the girls on floor. Now her final tumbling row. Double pike. And she stayed in that time.
Nicely done, Trudy. Well, the crowd loved it. They were clapping to her routine, waltzing Matilda. Trudy McIntosh chasing a 9.60 set by Morgan White from the States.
Not too bad. And, you know, she has to take that deduction for stepping out, but other than that, there wasn't a lot wrong. Trudy's final tumbling row now. And off back handspring. 1.5 twist punch front.
And a 9.40 for Trudy McIntosh from Australia. Still off the pace from Morgan White, but not a bad score. And we get to see Elise Ray again, our overall champion.
As you'd expect, your all-around champion tends to pick up a bag full of apparatus finals as well. Chance to build on her medal haul. Triple twist punch front. Not a lot of people can step onto the floor area and perform that skill. Double pirouette, there's her acrobatic series, or leap series. Elise winding up for her second tumbling pass. Whip.
Oh,
Half twist.
sensational.
Flipping and twisting. Quicker than you can see it now. She's moved into a slower dance section of her routine. Triple pivot on one foot. Might not have the danger of some of the tumbling rows, but in terms of being able to execute moves like that. 2.5 twist. The twisting, leaping elements, so that's great routine. She had a lot of difficulty in there, and as I said, it wasn't all just tumbling. Some of her connection elements, gymnastics elements, were also highly difficult, and she would have been picking up bonus points for those skills. To score a maximum score on this. Here's her half twist and then punch into 1.5 twisting laid out front.
Congratulating his star athlete.
Famous Bella Caroli bear hug there.
As she finishes her competition here in Christchurch.
Yeah, she's done a good job for the United States. The girls came here to do the job. They wanted to pick up the gold medal in the team's event. Elise went a long way to helping them do that. She also picked up the all-around crown on the way, And she's given herself a shot on floor exercise.
A 9.612 for Elise Ray. Edges out Morgan White from the United States on a 9.6. Elise Ray, yet again, in front. In the middle running, Naoko Nakase from Japan.
Second competitor for Japan. Opening up with a double twisting front punch front. Whip back through to double 2.5 twist punch front. These are difficult tumbling skills. Naoko Nakase ticked off a couple of the challenging parts of her routine. Now she's got to work through some choreography, some special requirements. There's a full twisting laid out front. She's done most of her elements where she needs to connect tumbling moves.
Naoko preparing for a tumbling sequence.
Triple twist. A great tumbler. Some of the other competitors are wondering where she came from. All of a sudden, she's come out of the blue, performed a great routine.
She qualified with a 9.350. Plenty of energy, plenty of spring in Naoko Nakase's performance.
Within a sniff of the medals. She may have done enough here to do one or two better than that. So
9.475 for Naoko Nakase. That's good enough for a bronze.
she'll be happy with that. She's done one better than she did in her preliminary round. She's picked up a bronze.
A double for the USA in the women's floor. Elise Ray and Morgan White with gold and silver. Naoko Nakase's final routine good enough for bronze. Well,
was it for them?